My first visit here in Delhi isn't going to be about anything related to the Hindu religion or the Indian people, but rather to the Muslim people, or Mohammedans as they call them around here. For nearly 7 centuries, the Arabs dominated this region with various dynasties. And this here is the largest mosque you'll find in the city. In fact, I'm in the old neighborhood here in Delhi. About 25,000 people can fit in this large courtyard. When it was founded in 1658, that was roughly the number of Muslims living here. So all of them could easily fit in here. But not today. Today, the number is much higher. In fact, some people even stay outside the mosque so they can hear a bit of the imam's words or to perform their prayers, which is actually very interesting. We have the imam's platform up front. Then there's a niche here, another niche here, and another niche over there by the door. Because here, there are priests who listen to the imam speaking and then replicate the prayer movements that he is doing. That way, they show and guide the people. It's interesting. Well, just look at my outfit, guys. Check out how I'm dressed. Since it's really hot, I had to come in shorts, and they put this on me because, as you already know, we have to enter with our legs and shoulders covered in every mosque. And right here in front of us is the ablution fountain. It's a very beautiful fountain and quite different from the ones I've seen, because it's not exactly a fountain, it's more like a kind of pool. So it's much nicer. People come in and you can see them purifying themselves before entering the mosque. I'm going to leave the mosque and go visit the city's old neighborhood of the city, but I won't literally be walking. I'm going to take a rickshaw ride. This is a very traditional mode of transportation here in Delhi, dating back to the time of the British. It's truly a unique experience, walking or riding around here in the rickshaws. I'm here with Rendra, my amazing guide here in Delhi, who's my amazing guide here in the city of Delhi. Rendra told me that we need to be careful with our belongings in this area. They're not going to rob us at gunpoint, like I always say. But if I leave a camera like this just lying around, someone might come by and grab it, so you can never be too careful when you're around here. But the experience is really cool. Going around these places, seeing how people really live. So I'm still inside the Muslim neighborhood, and what we see the most here are these jumbled wires. What we call cats in Brazil, illegal electrical connections, a lot of cables around here. And what's even crazier here is that it's a mix of tuk-tuks, motorcycles, rickshaws, and cars. And you hear the horns blaring and everyone barely missing each other by just an inch. I don't know how these guys don't crash. It's unbelievable. I'm in the middle of an intersection, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 streets. I'm stopped right in the middle, stuck here with my driver. I want to see how he's going to get through this now. Look, riding a roller coaster is nothing compared to this. My lord. Wow, this guy is good. Man, this guy is really good. This heroic journey with my driver brought me here to the Red Fort in Delhi. I'm not going to visit it inside right now. I'll do that in Agra, where there's another one that's much more beautiful. But I stopped here because in this place, where that flag is, on August 15th, 1947, from that spot, Prime Minister Nehru proclaimed India's independence. Well, after all that adventure in the rickshaw, I've now arrived at a temple of the Sikh religion, which was founded in the Punjab region between India and Pakistan. You can hear a chant that's very similar to the call from the minarets at mosques. Listen to this, check it out. Actually, the language is very similar too. This religion is monotheistic like Islam, but very different from Hinduism, which is polytheistic. The founder of this religion, Guru Nanak, was born into a Hindu household, but he spent a lot of time with Muslims who were present here at the time. So, over time he ended up developing new ideas, new concepts, new doctrines, and managed to gather some followers. From then on, his religion began to develop. There are 10 gurus in the hierarchy of the religion. When the last guru was established as a guru, they decided to write a holy book called the Guru Granth Sahib, which is the spiritual literature for the people who come here. Today, there are no priests here in this temple. There are only volunteers from various types of professions who come here to help. In this place, today, they offer food to anyone, regardless of religion or caste in India, for free. About 15,000 people come here to eat every day. Just like in Islam, Sikhism also requires people to purify themselves before entering the temple, which has a large tank where they do this. And speaking of the temple, unfortunately I can't film inside, but it was a unique experience for me because it's not a very big space. There were a lot of people sitting there meditating, but it's really peaceful. It's something very different from anything I've seen in other religions around the world. 3 musicians play and they take turns, and play 24 hours a day, and as the music plays, the lyrics are displayed in their language. In the language used here in India, in Hindi, and also in English. And the lyrics say something like, "Lord, thank you because you exist. Thank you for giving us health. Thank you because without you, Lord, we are nothing." So they stay there singing and proclaiming this. These 3 musicians who are playing have 2 keyboards, plus a kind of accordion with a different sound and a bongo. It's a moment of deep reflection there. This place is interesting to visit. Here we see exactly what I mentioned about food. Here people can come to eat from anywhere in India or anywhere in the world. I could be in there too. They come in and receive daily meals in shifts, completely free of charge. Now here's a challenge, folks. In this heat of almost 40-something degrees, 42 degrees maybe, today, the ground is scorching hot, we are required to go in barefoot. Actually barefoot, no socks, and wearing this turban out of respect, right? So that's why I have this different look. Now, what's interesting is that men have some rules here, and among them, after they convert, they're not allowed to cut their beards anymore. It might remind us of Judaism, which has this rule as well, so it's an interesting mix that this guru created by bringing together aspects from various religions to form this new doctrine. If you're enjoying the video, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to get notifications for new videos. at the Cut-Up Complex, which is a very special place. I'm really enjoying my visit here. The story is that there used to be 27 Hindu temples here between the 7th and 8th centuries, but in the 10th century Muslims came and destroyed all those temples, and they built a mosque in their place. Because when Muslims invade a place, they build a mosque to establish their religion. Here we still have some columns from the old temples, but they're completely disfigured because images aren't allowed in the Muslim religion. So, to prevent that, they destroyed most of the images that were here. In fact, you can see there used to be a dancer in this niche, but there's nothing there anymore. In this other one, the disfigured image of Lord Ganesh. This is the great courtyard of the mosque, which today is also in ruins. Now, what really catches our attention here is this huge tower, 79.5 meters tall, which was built in the 12th century. It's called a Victory Tower. It was a large minaret that also served as a lighthouse. Well, during the dynasty of Alauddin Khalji, another emperor, he tried to build a tower even bigger than that one. But the poor guy only managed to get it to this height. Unfortunately, its construction was halted, but at least this structure remains here for us to admire. I'm standing in front of a house that belongs to a family called Birla. Mahatma Gandhi lived in this place for 144 days. He spent his last days of life here. On January 30th, 1948, at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, he walked out of that door and followed a path. And now we're going to walk that path together. But the story of Mahatma Gandhi, his death, actually doesn't start in that year. We have to go back to 1935 when the Mohammedans, or Muslims, wanted to have their own country and a place to live, and no longer wanted to live in Indian territory. They start negotiating with India, with the Hindus, for a new space of their own. This story developed over many years, because it was the British who were in charge, until in 1947 they decided they would celebrate India's independence on August 15, 1947, so everyone should be careful, because they were going back to England after that, and they didn't know what the Hindus might do. The advice was to try and negotiate things as much as possible, so the Mohammedans could also have their own independence. So, on August 14, 1947, the Mohammedans or Muslims were given a place that is now Pakistan, the country of Pakistan. And on August 15th, one day later, India gained its independence. Well, I'm telling this story as I follow Gandhi's path. You can see his footsteps here. So why do I go all the way up to the state? Went on 17 hunger strikes, often supporting the Dalits, supporting the end of the caste system. Gandhi was a very beloved person. He fought hard for those most in need, and at that time when the Muslims secured this place to live, the British said, if I were you, I'd ask the Hindus for some money, because you're starting a new country. And they decided that the Hindus would have to pay 17% of their economic reserves to this new country, Pakistan, which would be about 55 million rupees. Well, Gandhi got involved in this conflict and decided he would support the Muslims. And because of that, on January 30th, 1948, a fanatic was here where Gandhi was. There were a lot of people here, and he came to say his prayers. And among the people who were here, there was a nationalist fanatic who didn't want this to happen. And when Gandhi arrived at this kiosk here, this person pulled out a gun and fired 3 shots into Mahatma Gandhi's chest, and he died right here. Today, this place is a memorial. In fact, you can find many stories about Gandhi being told here, the journey of his life. It's interesting for us to pause for a moment and reflect on life. Gandhi's original name was Mohan Gandhi, but later he was given the title Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma means great soul. I am now inside the house. This is the place where Gandhi lived on that day. In fact, he lived in this very space. This was his life, in a splendid house like this one. He got up at around 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and he had a meeting. A fact that was recorded here, as we can see. Look, there's even a photo of this day taken here. So, here we see him in that meeting. And then he left through this door here. And then he continued on his way. This part of the house is now reserved for several small models showing Gandhi's life. And this one here is the last of them before the exit. It shows January 31st, 1948, when Gandhi was placed on the pyre to be cremated. This message came from the pyre: lead me from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. I've arrived at the main postcard spot here in the city of Delhi, the Arch of Triumph, or the India Gate, which was built in 1942 as part of a major urban development project in the city. From the arch, if you go straight ahead, you'll end up at the President's House and the Ministry of Defense and Economy. The large avenue that crosses this area is called Rajpath. And at this place in the city that surprised me, I wrap up my tour here in Delhi. I hope you enjoyed these tips about India. So, if you like this video, give it a like, leave a comment, share the video with your friends, and don't forget to follow me on social media. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hope to see you in my next episode here in India. Because, after all, inside each of us, there's always someone who was born to travel.